constructive feedback from you. And we take that and we apply it to improve the product every year. Very few companies in our space that do that. A lot of developers believe they know the system, but they don't really, because they don't use it to the extent that you do. And so today's time will be spent sharing with you what we've updated, what the feedback has been, what the consequences and the benefits are, and most importantly, towards the end and also during the course, during the program, give us feedback, because we want to hear from you how we can move forward and what you're looking for in your experiences. So thank you so much. We recognize your time is valuable. We're going to be on time as much as we can. And with that, I'm going to introduce, turn it over to Andrew to introduce himself to those who don't know him, and everyone else on our team can go through the introductions and then we'll take it from there. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Glenn. Hey, good morning, everybody. Andrew Wolpe, President CEO of Magnifi Group. Just very pleased to be here and proud to have all of you on board, listening to our presentation and taking time out of your day. So thank you. I'll have my team, or our team, will introduce themselves next. We can start with Pam and just introduce the next person.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Good afternoon for our European clients that are joining us today. My name is Pam Gonzalez, and I'm account manager and instructional designer in our European office. We're based in Germany. Well, thank you all for connecting today. We hope that these presentations and the information you received today is useful for your training programs.
Okay, my name is Michelle Zavadio. I'm also in Germany as well. It's nice to meet you. I'm also an account manager in Europe and for LearnWiseGo. I manage multiple accounts on this platform, and I also handle training developments. Thank you again for being here today. I hope you find something interesting today, and I can't wait to meet you all.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm a senior account manager here in the US. I've worked with a good portion of the people that are on this call, and I look forward to working with some of the prospects that are on as well. Look forward to giving some presentations.
Hi, I'm Susanna Ayabu. Project director of Magnifi Group, and I work on the US team. I'm excited to talk about what we have in store for you this year. Today, I'll be sharing with you some of our recent developments and our future developments.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jacob. I'm an account manager with Magnifi Group. I'm based in the US. Looking forward to sharing some of the developments that we've been working on.
Hi, I'm Gracie. I'm the event coordinator in the US, and it's nice to meet you all.
All right.
Okay, so go ahead.
Excellent. Laura, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and we'll go through. Got our agenda up. As Glenn said, we'll keep it on time. You can see here we have the welcome that we will go through the team, which we've covered, some new developments, which we're excited to announce. At the end of that, we're also going to talk with Maxime, who's on the call here. I'll introduce him. He's a guest speaker from Revinax. We have a short break. Then we've got some other presentations about features and developments in the system. And then we're going to talk about 2023's pipeline, all the exciting things we have coming up, and get some questions and closing remarks. So thank you very much, and let's get going.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started with a presentation on integrations and how it can be useful within your workflow as well as inside of LearnWiseGo. So there are different forms of integrations that we can set up. They would be working with different systems that you would already have in place within your company. They could either be internally based systems or ones that are more for your external customers facing side. An integration would mean that you are pairing the two systems with LearnWiseGo. So if that would be an internally based system or internally based integration where we would be sending information to LearnWiseGo, such as a single sign-on from one login or OKTA or any of those other types of platforms where your user information is adding in. You can also have integrations set up externally so that you're sending information from LearnWiseGo to different platforms such as the CRM or any form of reporting system. And that way people that might not be inside of LearnWiseGo can still see the information of, say, a user's progress through a lesson plan, or the fact that they've completed all of their credentialing courses. That would be some of the information that we would be able to pass back from LearnWiseGo. The integration would be important to set up because it's a way to streamline the two platforms together. You're not then putting a manual task in place where you have to update two different forms of Excel sheets and get all of your reporting information in one secure location if maybe there's different areas that you're reporting on that wouldn't be inside of LearnWiseGo. Some of the different programs that can be added in would be, say, Salesforce if you're working with a more customer-based flow, since LearnWiseGo can be set up to be a more externally facing platform where your users are coming in on a more streamlined flow. You'd be able to get the people's reporting data into Salesforce, such as they were compliant in the first sales training that they needed to go through to be able to put the product out on the sales field. With the different types of systems, like I mentioned, you can have single sign-ons where your users would be getting into one secure location to access multiple different platforms that they might need to get into. They could log into OKTA and then have one password to be able to get into LearnWiseGo, as well as Salesforce, as well as Zoom, and so forth. It would be a tile that they would be selecting in, and you can get into a little bit more detail on that later on. CRMs would be kind of the other side of it. If you want to get reporting information into your softwares that you could get from LearnWiseGo. And then document management systems would be somewhat of the credentialing type-based courses or a different type of reporting information from the library. This would enhance the learning experience from your users. It does make it a little bit easier for them to access information and kind of get one centralized type flow. For one login type based, you would eliminate the need for the security link for the users. So there would be one less email that they would be getting initially, kind of get them into the platform immediately instead of through email process. And then you're also able to get the information back from the system a little bit easier. And Susanna will go into a little bit more in depth on the different forms of integrations that we have available already.
Hello, everyone. So I'll be talking about how OKTA integration works with LearnWiseGo. Single sign-on provides the ability for users to automatically access multiple platforms from a single location. LearnWiseGo currently supports LearnWiseGo currently supports one login and Azure AD. Now the new implementation focuses on integration with OKTA. The users logging into OKTA can simply click through the desired platforms from the OKTA site. And there are two benefits of using OKTA: enhanced user experience and simplified access management. So if your company is using multiple sites, your users need to access like CRMs. This simplifies the login process for users by allowing them to access multiple applications with just one set of credentials. This eliminates the need for users to remember and enter multiple usernames and passwords. This also simplifies potential errors with username and passwords. This in turn results in a seamless and convenient experience for users to log into LearnWiseGo. So when you navigate into your company's site, OKTA site, you see a main page that has all the places you can navigate to as icons. Here in the screenshot, you see multiple apps on the user dashboard of OKTA. So you see the LearnWiseGo app here, and when the user clicks on the LearnWiseGo app from OKTA, they are redirected to the dashboard of LearnWiseGo. A few other benefits of integrating LearnWiseGo with OKTA is that you don't have to go into LearnWiseGo to set up user accounts. Instead, if you create users in a single sign-on system and maintain them, it'll automatically be reflected in LearnWiseGo. Any changes you make to the users, like the name, roles, or even if you want to inactivate the user, if you make these changes in OKTA, this will be pushed into LearnWiseGo. Okay, so Laura, one slide back. Yeah, so here I'll show how the OKTA integration with LearnWiseGo flows. A user is created in OKTA, and the administrator for the company adds the LearnWiseGo OKTA app to the users list of approved apps. So one of these two things happen when we create a LearnWiseGo account. So once the user is created in OKTA, and if the user tries to log in into LearnWiseGo, immediately he will have access to LearnWiseGo. If at all he doesn't, log in within 4 hours, our system, the user is automatically synced into our system in 4 hours. So basically, for the user account to reflect automatically on LearnWiseGo, it takes 4 hours. That's how it works with our system. And from that point on, the user can either navigate directly and see the OKTA login page, or navigate to LearnWiseGo domain. Doing either will take them to the LearnWiseGo user dashboard. So after this point on, the user is able to access LearnWiseGo directly. The same flow that would be going through the LP's training modules, and they would still be able to access instructor-led trainings. All of that would just be through a different form of login.
If I could just jump in here with a quick comment, the reason why this is so important for those of you who are on the call is because the chances are that your company may very well be using OKTA for integration in multiple software products you're using already. So to the extent that we already now integrate with it, the benefit, of course, is self-explanatory, but it's important mentioning is that the ease of use for your users to access LearnWiseGo is just significant, and there's no obstacle to log in every time with a username and password. And so, just more attention and more opportunity to get a larger number of users continually getting into the learning platform, which obviously is your objective as administrators. So, for those of you who are not doing surgeon training where that's not necessary, but you're doing sales training, just talk to your IT folks, see if you use OKTA, and we can just definitely with a switch literally turn it on.
Thanks, Susanna. Next slide, Laura.
Okay, so this is Pam. I will be talking about our integration with Power BI in LearnWiseGo. For those of you that are not familiar with Power BI, this is a business analytical tool that allows our admins to visualize all data from different sources in one single place. So these integrations allow the admins to keep track of key features at all times and make effective decisions regarding the training programs of their companies. So we did integrate it with Power BI last year, by the end of the year. And since then, we have been developing new reports supported by this tool in our system. Currently, our admins have access to the login report and to the user's progress report. And very soon, we will add to this list the overview report and the credentialing report. So I will be talking about the two reports that we have in our system. And Susanna later, she's going to be talking about the new ones when she does her presentation about the exciting items that we have in our pipeline for this year. Okay, so some of the main features of Power BI that are useful to you are the filters, of course, just like any other report, Power BI has filters. And the admin can add filters to run reports on specific fields. But the good thing about Power BI is that it allows you to have different types of filters. If you prefer to do a drop-down menu with all the items and just select those items, Power BI allows you to do that. But if you prefer to search a word, specific word that can contain an item in the field, then you would also be allowed to do so. So it is very flexible, all the filters that this tool has. Also flexible are the visualization options. Power BI has about 40 types of graphics that you can incorporate into your report. This is very useful if you want to present to the leadership of your company in a very visual and graphic, nice way, but all the results of your training efforts. So this is something that is just out in there in our system already. For, of course, fields, all the columns that you have in your reports, you can remove those columns, you can add columns, you can do save reports with the specific columns that you think are important for your specific report. So that's another feature of this tool. And traditionally in our system, we were able to export, save, and schedule the reports. This is still possible using Power BI. So you can export your reports to Excel after you filter them, or even before you want to modify your report and then export it. That is possible still. You can save these reports for the future if you want to access them later after you filter and organize your reports with the data that is important to you. And also these reports, after you save them or even before saving them, you can schedule them to be sent to your email address. So you're going to get an Excel file. If you put your email and you put the time frame in which you would like these reports to be sent to your email. So talking about specifically the reports that we have currently available to you. First one is the login report. This login report enables our admins to report on which users have logged into this academy and when. With this report, it is possible to report on who has logged in during a specific date range and details on how they logged in. And some of the most commonly used filters for this report are the time frames. A lot of our clients would like to see this month how many users have logged in, or who has logged in, who hasn't this year, how is the use of the system. Also, something that is really important for a lot of our customers is to see what type of devices the users are accessing the system through. So for this case, if you access a sub-report, each user is going to have a list of all the login devices they use. This can inform the material, the training material that you're using, how it's been displayed in these devices, and maybe try to optimize your training efforts and content towards the majority of the devices that are being used by your learners. Okay, besides this report, we also have the lesson plan users progress report. This is the most used report for admins that are sharing training materials in the formal lesson plans. This report has an overview of all the lessons assigned to each user or group of users. And in here, the admins can check the user's progress status and filter users that have completed the training or who have not accessed the training yet. If the admin would like to have a specific information about a user, this report is going to list all the lessons that this user has been assigned to, even if this user was assigned through a group. So this is kind of a key report if you want to see the progress of one single learner. You want to see if this person has been trained or completed the train assigned, or if you would like to see who has or what group of users is lagging behind and have not accessed them the system yet, then you can send them a reminder or a notification, or even managers can have the option to check this and take action in case they need to make the users log in and take the train. Okay, so that is about the reports. Now we're going to talk about.
1 second, Pam, before you jump ahead. Just, you know, these are available. I'm not sure how many of you are using them, but please, if you have any questions, just reach out to your account manager that can help you and teach you how to use these reports effectively. But they are available. If they're not active in your system, also check with us. We can get those turned on.
Yeah, but before I pass presentation to the next person, yes, not only are we available to teach you how to use it, but also if you don't see them in your system reports in that item in the menu, please let us know because they need to be activated for you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit about a new feature that we enabled, which are e-signature reminders. And they come through an email template that is available inside of the LearnWiseGo email template. So if there is any edits or adjustments that you would like to add into it, maybe if there's specific deadlines that they need to have the e-signature done by, you would find the overall template in the e-signature template section of the email templates. So what is the e-signature reminder? When you have a lesson plan, you will be able to enable an e-signature at the end of that lesson plan. Having an e-signature on the lesson plan will enable it to be FDA compliant, essentially ensuring that the first user and the last user saw the same information, as well as they were the user behind the screen that verified that they were. The e-signature is when the user will enter in their username and password. If there is a single sign-on setup, it would be the username and password that they entered in through that system with. The e-signature reminder is a pop-up that comes up after the lesson plan has completed. So there are some times that a user might not complete the e-signature right after completing the lesson plan. They might click out of the window or just close their laptop because they got their passing score. So we saw that users might be able to fall into this kind of purgatory reminder notification without you pulling a report and seeing the people that were in that field. There wasn't really much that the user was notified that they needed to go back in and see that they had an e-signature that they needed to do. So now we have enabled a system reminder that will send immediately after the lesson plan has completed that the user is able to go back into the system and complete their e-signature. This would be the icon that the users would typically be seeing at pending e-signature. The only thing that they need to do when that happens is just click it and then enter in their username and password. It takes about a second or two. They just need to log back into the system to get access to that. With this new e-signature reminder, they'll get an email template that will give them just a little click to be able to click here, and then they'll immediately be able to sign off on their e-signature. So it's a quicker, faster way for them to be able to get it. And it's less work on you to have to remind them to do it since the system will be doing that for you now. This will also go along with the other email notifications that the lesson plan is able to push out, such as reminder emails or overdue notifications to continuously let the user know that they have training.
So I'm going to discuss about the sign all function for user certification and package. There we go. Okay. So the ability for an administrator to assign all for users to a credentialing package, this logic will be following the same as a lesson plan in our library folders as well. So I'm going to show you where you could find this assign all feature. So on the administrator side, so you would go under certifications and go to LearnWise certification packages. And then when you click on the package, there should be an icon called the assignment. You're going to select assignments. And after when you pass assignment, you're going to see all the available users available to your platform. At the top right on the assign side, there will be an assign all. After you click the assign all button, now all your current and future users will be automatically assigned to this credentialing package. This is very beneficial because it just prevents you from having to log into our system to assign users individually. Is there any questions about the credentialing package or being assigned all? Okay.
Hi guys, Jacob here. So I want to explain one of our new developments now, the user's progress widget. Before this widget, a user had no easy way to see where they were at in the LearnWiseGo system. The user's progress widget is in the user's dashboard, and it now allows a user to get a complete overview of their learning progress across 6 metrics. Those 6 metrics include lessons that have been completed, lessons that haven't been started yet, lessons that are in progress, the ones that are overdue, lessons that have been passed and failed, and the ones that are pending e-signature. So across 6 metrics there. A user can assess their progress against mandatory lesson plans or optional lesson plans or both. They can assess that in a number or percentage format. You can see on the right-hand side, you can toggle those on and off. The improved visibility enables a user to quickly uncover what needs to be completed to ensure that their learning progress remains on track. And further upgrades to the visual aesthetic, some of the rounding of the corners and the click-through functionality are coming soon. And that click-through functionality, what that will mean is it's going to, where you see there kind of not started, in progress, pass, fail, those different metrics, you'll be able to click through to those lessons that it's referring to. So if a lesson is overdue, for example, you'll be able to click on, one there, click on the overdue and click through to which lesson that is. So you know that you can get to it and submit it on time. So that's the user's progress widget. We're now going to hear from our guest speaker, Revinax.
Yeah, and thanks, Jacob. I'm going to just introduce Maxime, who I've known through mutual connections for quite some time. Yeah, his product came across my radar, and we recognized it as a really superb training tool, and we thought it would make sense to present it here and then give Maxime the opportunity to showcase this to our customers and prospects. Maxime is an MD, PhD, and as well as a practicing neurosurgeon. He has a thesis in educational sciences, so definitely qualified to put forward this technology to the market. While he was doing his studies, he actually recognized that there was a need for training to be improved, where generally people are using standard videos. He thought it would make a lot of sense to create this kind of virtual VR environment that he'll showcase here now. The goal of the company is really to improve training for the global improvement in healthcare, which actually aligns nicely with what our goals are as a company as well. So Maxime, I turn it over to you. Thanks very much.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I think.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you very much, Andrew, and thank you, LearnWiseGo, to give me the opportunity to join this great meeting. And hello, everyone. So we are currently based in France and also in United States, and in the very near future in Switzerland. The idea came from all my young career, meaning that to learn, in fact, to spend a lot of time shadowing in the OR, and I wanted to improve this, and I will show you how. So I think that some of you already used VR, but there are different ways to create VR contents, and we proposed an alternative way which can be a bit more scalable and less expensive, because this is usually the pain point that we can find. At first, I just wanted to have a very quick note regarding what we call the experiential learning. Experiential learning is the way we learn surgery and how to operate. There are 2 different steps. There is the mimetic steps and the constructivist step. Constructivist is when you are actually performing the procedure, trying, failing, succeeding until you are able to manage and to handle the whole process. So far it has been done in real life, meaning that you are trying to do it on your patients. And of course, this is not what we want to do right now. animals. Animals have been used in certain area too. Cadaver labs, still the case in different countries, but there are less and less cadavers. And here comes the physical simulators and now the VR games. And VR games with the ability to interact with all the environments and to perform a procedure from A to Z. So we are not on that. We are more on the mimetic part to optimize it, meaning that it can be complementary. And this is a tool set that you have and that surgeons can use in order to be able to handle the surgeries. Mimetic parts, well, there is not a lot of optimization so far. Shadowing, this is the real life, and you are always behind or beside main experts. In the worst case, you are facing him or her. Why the worst? Because you are memorizing everything in the wrong way, in the opposite way. And it has been shown that if you were able to learn in first-person view, you can decrease the mistakes by up to 50%. So you also have videos which has been developed, but usually videos have a lot of obstacles and they are not recorded in first-person view. Just to illustrate this on how you are shadowing so far, you don't see every single details of the procedure, and this is why it takes so many time to be able to understand and to perform something. And if you look at the lower right corner picture, you can see that there is a handycam on the right, and this is how usually the surgeries are being recorded, meaning that you are this third person. You are in the same position than the assistant. And what we developed is the rig, the Revinax rig, the recording system the surgeon is wearing while he or she is performing the procedure. How do we do this? If I show you a very quick video, this is how we use it. So this is something that the surgeon is wearing on the shoulder. We have other ones which are headsets. And you see that there are two cameras to record in 3D, and we can orientate this camera to be able to have access to the first-person view. But we didn't want to just be stuck with video. And the idea was to be able to edit this video in 3D to have the depth perspective, and then to create a virtual reality environment dedicated for the training, and with different features that I will show you. Finally, in our approach, why putting it into VR? Because it gives you the emotional engagement. The brain is actually thinking that the user is performing the procedure, even if he or she is not interacting with all the environments. But the brain is memorizing it better. And then we deploy the content on a platform to be deployed on VR headset, but not only, because main problem that we've seen with VR is the fact that you are stuck with a certain tool. And how can you refresh your skills after having seen something, after having lived an experience? Well, on your smartphone. So we designed an app and you can still have access to the content on the smartphone. The way we created the VR environment, here it's a very schematic and simple way, and I will show you how after. You have this first-person view video. You have the chapters at the top, which corresponds to the different steps of the procedure. It's a different way to present, to display an operative technique. And on each side of the main screen, we add relevant data that can be training data or promotional data presenting the product which is being used. So this is how Revinax can be plugged into trainee journey with the optimization of the mimetic part, and after being able to at the end of the day to perform the procedure in the real life. If we take how VR is being built so far, I talked about the VR games, which are very interesting. This is another approach, but again, this is for the next part when you want to act. You also have 360 videos, which are very nice to present an environment like here. This is a 360 video. Actually, the camera is here, and you record all the environments. But with 360 video, you are still far away from the central part of the action, and you are not able to see all the details of the procedure. And so when I'm talking about the first-person view, this is the type of movie that we can obtain. If I make a pause, you see that now this is not a 360 video. This is a 180 video, because what is important for us is what is happening just in front of the experts. But to take advantage of the rest of this environment, which is the surrounding environment, is still 360, to add other types of data. It can be the clinical case with the patient's characteristics, or on the other side, a computer-generated image to understand the anatomy, for example. And a final feature, raising the head up. Again, here you are watching it on a flat screen, but for the ones who has already tried VR, you know that you can explore all the environments, and here, raising the head up, you have access to the different chapters, which corresponds to the different steps of the procedure. And per chapter, we can change the additional data, which are on each side of the main screen. We did it in various surgeries, in fact, in all types of surgeries. Here, for example, this is abdominal, visceral surgery, or here, this is orthopedic surgery. You see also that we can add other details, a macroscopic view when there is a need, or this is where we can put also a synchronized view of the arthroscopic system that is being used into the environments. So the key message that I would like to transmit is there are not just only one way to train, and there are always these two different steps when it goes to practical training. Soft skills, it's another application. But for practical training, you need to see, understand, and then to actually practice. There are different ways to create VR content. All these ways have really pedagogical indications for their use. We have defined along the Revinax is now 8 years old, and during the last years, we performed a lot of scientific studies to show where is the interest. And what I can tell you is that it helps people to be more engaged, more confident, have a better understanding. That's first point, but also a higher retention rates. After 6 months, they remember better what they have lived before. And we have been able to show that we can decrease the mistakes by up to 65% while reducing the time to perform a procedure. This way, people have already lived from the key surgeon's point of view, the best way to use in the different indications, the best way to use the medical devices. I hope it was not too confusing. I went straight to, you told me 10 minutes.
No, that's Maxime, I think that's really good. And I just want to open up to questions from the audience. And if I'll have one to start. The equipment that the surgeon is using, is that not interfere with their ability to perform surgery?
No, absolutely not. To be honest, at the very beginning, when I had 2 GoPro on my forehead on recycle helmets to try it at first, and here that was not, you cannot bear with it. No, we did a lot of iterations, thousands of hours in OR to be able to design this hardware. And honestly, the surgeon is forgetting it. He's forgetting it during the whole surgery. So, and we have a lot of testimony that truly assess it. We are here to support. We are not just shipping the rig, and we are here to support. We can rent it, but there is small learning curve. So if it's just for one surgery, it's better to have one person from Revinax getting in with the rig and being able to record with the surgeon. Our team are composed of healthcare professionals. Our project managers are operative nurses, and we have in-house audiovisual technician, but we have trained a lot of different AV tech, either in Europe or more and more now in the United States too. And these people know exactly what is the behavior and how to record in OR, because you have a lot of tips and tricks. This is a very specific recording environment. And so this is how we build the team to be able to to create fast content also, because we can deliver it under 3 to 5 weeks. You have the tutorial which is being released, and so can create more and more content this way.
Yeah, very, very exciting. Does anyone else on the call have any questions? Of course, we'll share Maxime's contacts as well, so you'll be able to reach out directly or come through us, and we can, I can definitely put you in front of him, no problem. That was really interesting. Thank you, Maxime. We come from the background of building 3D animations, so we have some perspective of this, and congratulations. That's a beautiful product.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
There we go.
I'll be talking about the central repository in a new feature that we launched, where that allows the admins to see where the files are being used in the system. So just a quick reminder of what the central repository is. This is a database of our system for the admins access only. Admins and sub-admins, users don't have access to this database. And in here, you can find all the files that have been used or uploaded in the system. No matter if the admin uploaded the file through the library, or if they upload the file when they were creating a lesson plan or a training module, the system will always store these files in the central repository. Sometimes some of our admins need to verify where are the files being used. For example, when they want to update a lesson with a new version of the file and they want to replace it, or when you want to verify that a specific file is the correct one being in the library. So before this feature, the only way that the admins had to verify which files were being used was by going to the lesson or folder in the library and check the name of the file. So to simplify the process, we added the feature to check where a file was located to access the location, and to see exactly where the files are. So just a quick demo on how this is done. You can simply select the file, right-click, and select location. The system will display a list with the location where this file is being utilized. And also you can export this list if you need to Excel. This is accessible to all admins and doesn't require specific privileges. All right, so now I'll be talking about the next item, which is the audit trail, especially for past users manually. So another reminder that we do have in our system a feature or a whole section that allows admins to see actions that were taken by other sub-admins or previous main admins of the system. For example, if an admin wants to see who inactivated a user or created a user, or if the admin wants to see if a sub-admin created a lesson plan or modified a lesson plan, we have a system that allows the admin to generate audits. So these audits are located in the system reports area. It's the last option, and it's called audit trail. Now we have a comprehensive list of audit trails. And the one that we added, the new one that I'm presenting today, is one to allow the users to generate a report of who passed manually a training module for a user. So this action, the action of passing a user manually, is done by an admin or a sub-admin that has been authorized to do so. And this is done in a case-to-case basis. Mainly, it is done when there is a problem, a technical problem with the file, or a question was generated incorrectly. So this user actually had the correct answer, but because of the technical error, this user failed for some reason or couldn't continue with the training. So in these cases, the admins, authorized admins, have the ability to pass these users manually. And we have database that records these actions done by the admins. So In this audit, the admins can see the lesson plan and the training module details of the action, who made the action, and any other associated information regarding the manual pass, such as the timestamp and the e-signature information. Another feature that we added in the last few months was the ability to view a sub-admin's account. So this is something that was already in our system for users. So any admin can go to the users list and console into the user's account, take a look at how this user dashboard looks like for the user. And now we add this feature so the admins will be able to see how the sub-admin's account look like. So this is done in the same way. The admin just goes to the sub-admins list, then clicks on the console icon, and then the system is going to display the dashboard of the sub-admin, and you're going to be able to see how this looks like for them. This is useful because sometimes you need to troubleshoot with the sub-admin certain information if you have the right privileges for this sub-admin. If you are allowing the sub-admin to see certain key information, you can just corroborate that this is the right setting for this sub-admin by consoling into their account and double checking there. If an admin would like to go out of the sub-admin console site, they simply click on the icon, in the green icon that is located next to the sub-admin name, and they will be sent to the admin site. All right, and the final feature that I'll be talking today about is the multi-language training modules. This is a feature that was created based on the needs of some of our clients that are have a global audience, and they need to have the training modules in different languages. So in the past, in case they had, for example, a product training in the US, they will have their training module in English, and then if they wanted to reach a French audience, then they will do a lesson plan, a different one in French. So we wanted to make this process easier for the companies that need this multi-language feature. And now we have this feature added to all our training modules. So this appears for every new training module that you're going to have in our system. And what you can do is to add any training content, such as forms or PDFs or videos. And then you will be able to add, let's say, one of the files that is in English to the same training module. And then in the future, if you created the one in French, you can add it to the same training module. So now you don't need to create 2 lesson plans. You just need to add the extra file in the different language into the same training module. This will give you some time to develop this content and then come back and reuse this training module. And what happens with the users is that the users can now select what language they want to use to take their training if available. If a user already passed, of course, this and then you add a different language, this is not going to be available for that user, but for future users who have not yet taken the course. Now, sometimes users, maybe they want to venture into a training in one language, but they midway to the training, they feel that it is too hard in the language, so they want to switch back to their native language or to a different one. They can do so, although their training progress will be reset because the reading of the file is different, but they will be able to have this ability if they would like to do so. All right, so now we're going to talk about LearnWiseGo AI Power Assistant. Jacob, can you put this there?
Hey, everybody. So very excited to share with you LearnWiseGo's AI-powered assistant. Just Just realized 1 second. Here we go, the right slide. So yeah, here at Magnifi Group, we've obviously noticed there's been an explosion in AI in the market. You may have seen the same in your world too. But we are looking into how we can integrate AI as a technology into our business. We already have an excellent admin, sub-admin FAQ guide with detailed videos and instructions, and I'm sure many of you have used that before to get some information about the LearnWiseGo platform. We also, we train our admins and sub-admins thoroughly on using the LearnWiseGo platform, so neither of those two things are going away. But we want to improve the accessibility of this existing information. So really, we're just building on top of a lot of the hard work that's already been done. And we're thinking about how we can use AI to do that. So I wanted to start with the admin and sub-admin assistant. It's going to be plugged into all of this knowledge that we've built. And so now I'm going to show you a current operational prototype of the AI-powered assistant who's going to demonstrate this. I'll then explain a little bit about how the prototype might develop over the coming weeks and months, and then briefly mention the future, future applications of AI and why we're excited about this technology. So if we look at the prototype, it's a functional web app. Right now it's being tested internally. Hopefully you can see this screen before I speak about it. But you can see here, this is our LearnWiseGo admin assistant. We can come here and ask a question about using LearnWiseGo. So if I'm an admin and sub-admin and I come here with a question, I want to know, okay, I'm a sub-administrator. As a sub-administrator, what is the survey privilege? I keep seeing it. What does that mean? What does it mean to have the survey privilege enabled? I can come here and hit, and we're going to get a rapid response from our LearnWiseGo assistant, who's going to tell us that if we have this survey privilege enabled, we can see all the existing surveys, we can create and assign new ones, and we can access data from reports related to surveys. And this is going to work for a variety of questions. So how many roles are there on the platform? For example, we're going to see that we've got admins, sub-admins, which is you guys, and users too. They're the three main roles. But you can come here and get the information rapidly. So that's the prototype. It's working. It's accessible at that URL. How it might develop is an evolution of the training data, more training data. To be a true expert on the LearnWiseGo system, it needs to be trained on a larger data set. That is in progress. Ideally, this will be integrated into the website too. This will be integrated into the admin FAQ section. I'll show you a little mock-up of what that might look like shortly. Then we would like beta users to invite our first beta users to test it out to make sure that they're happy with the assistant and that any sort of initial user feedback is incorporated into the build of the product. And then if we look at this is what it might look like in the admin FAQs. So this is that website integration where you can see here we've got this, our admin assistant here, and we still have all of the articles, the questions and videos in our FAQ section, but we can also come here to get, if we come with a question we need an immediate answer to, and we're going to get that instantly. So as I said, so for the future, right now it's just this prototype integration of the admin FAQs. However, as a company, we're exploring the possible applications of AI tech to enhance the general experience of using the LearnWiseGo platform. There's some really exciting applications that we're exploring to enhance the learning experience and really to give you guys, the admins and sub-admins, greater control over the performance and the engagement of your users. I can take any questions at the end, but that's me.
Hey, Jacob, thanks a lot. Yeah, we're very excited about it. Obviously, this is a very first look, and building it just into the FAQs as a quick tool to get data and information and support on LearnWiseGo. And Jacob alluded to some future projects, which we will keep open, and we'll look for ideas from our customers. But I really like the idea of the ability to track usage in the system. How are your trainees using the system, where they're clicking, where they're going the most, giving you that feedback and the ability for you then to use that feedback to tailor your training. So very, very exciting stuff. Thanks, Jacob.
That leads us into the pipeline section of the webinar. That's going to be the things that we are going to be pushing out in the next few months to year. And I will lead us off.
Hello, everyone. So I'll be talking about some development items we'll be pushing in the incoming months. So my first presentation will be on the e-commerce integration. So we have an existing e-commerce platform we use for internal trading. The new e-commerce LearnWiseGo platform has been enhanced with new features. The new e-commerce platform, it allows users to purchase and complete trainings on the LearnWiseGo platform. You can monetize your trainings on LearnWiseGo e-commerce site, and you will have the ability to upload your own trainings into the site, and the administrators will have the ability to publish their trainings and sell it as individual courses or as packages. You can also custom set your pricing and subscription time periods like 6, 12, or 24 months. You also have the ability to add courses as they become available. You also have the option to attach certificates to trainings if the users meet the requirements set by you for each course. Our site is designed to be user-friendly with intuitive navigation and a seamless checkout process. You can easily search for courses, add them to your cart, and complete the sign-up process with just a few clicks. Also, our site uses industry standard encryption and security measures to protect your data and ensure a safe and secure checkout process. So once the user purchases the course, they can actually sign up and they'll gain access to all the courses they have purchased. And the courses will be available online, which allows the users to learn at their own pace and convenience. So upon successful completion of the course and meeting the course requirements set by the administrators, they'll receive a certificate or credential to demonstrate their achievement.
Susanna, just before you move on there, the e-commerce integration is of course not relevant for your internal training, but this becomes applicable potentially if you have courses that are setting industry standards that you want to push out into the wider market to whether it be clinicians or surgeons. It can also be used for CME accredited content as well. So that's where you'd want to apply that. I don't think anyone wants to charge their internal people to get trained. It's hard enough to get them trained already. So thanks, Susanna.
I'm going to go a little bit into a new feature that we're going to be pushing out within lesson plans themselves. And this is to copy and create with the assigned users that have been inside of the lesson plan. So currently within the system, we have the feature that you're able to copy and create an existing lesson plan. When you do that, it will illuminate with the 3 dots on the right-hand side and give a copy and create icon. You'll select on this and it helps you as an administrator because you can easily take all of the settings that the previous lesson plan had, all of the parameters, the checkboxes, the training modules, everything that you did previously will just copy into a new version of the lesson plan. You can then manipulate it however you'd like. Maybe you change the settings. Instead of doing it by date, you do it by day to give your users a little bit more freedom. Or you can change the training modules in it if it could be an annual training. You want to revise the training each year to send out to the users. This would be a different way to be able to push out those trainings now. So when you're creating, as kind of mentioned, you'd be able to change any of the parameters that you would need select new training modules. The old ones that have been assigned to the lesson plan previously will be on the left-hand or right-hand side already, and then you can select new ones or manipulate it how you please. With the new version that we're going to be pushing out, the existing users as well as group settings that had been on the lesson plan previously will now show up on here as well. So you can then take the groups that had already been assigned to the training, assign them out the content again, or maybe one group satisfied the original lesson plan, so they don't need to be assigned to the new one. You'd be able to remove that group over and assign over a new lesson plan to the users here. It's easy for the administrators now, especially if you're doing it by individual users. If you have a lesson plan that's assigned to maybe 120 users, you now don't have to individually select all of those users to be assigned out to the new lesson plan. Instead, now you'll just be able to either remove some users or assign out to the bulk that have previously been on there. It will allow you to reassign on annual or, however you would like to go back into the system and reassign your training. You can manipulate the users that are within it, and then you can still keep the parameters that have previously been there. So it makes the lesson plan reassign feature a lot faster. I'll take it over to Susanna to share a little bit more about our Power BI.
Yeah, so next I'll be talking about the Power BI user performance overview report. So this is an all new report. This is a new implementation, and it's an all new report that we have implemented right now that shows the user's overall training performance. And it is accessible to admins in Power BI. So our existing system reports monitors the performance of lesson plans, training modules, library, and instructor-led trainings separately. So if the administrators currently want to go into our LearnWiseGo system and find the performance of the users, they have to do multiple clicks to go into each and every separate reports to get the progress. Currently, the overall training performance report is integrated with Power BI to show all the status of the trainings in one single report, like the lesson plans, training modules, and the instructor-led trainings. Performance for each particular user can be seen in a single report within the LearnWiseGo platform. Okay, so here I have screenshots of how the report looks on Power BI. So we have a card visual. The data on the card visual displays the number of users assigned in for today, this week, this month, and this year. So all these 4 card visuals are clickable, and on clicking on the card visual, the report will be filtered with respect to the card that was clicked. So, and then we have the stack bar chart. These visuals display the percentage of status of users who took the lesson plan. The data is clickable and it will filter the report. All the data segments here has a tooltip which will display when hovering over them. Next, moving on to the clustered column chart visual. This chart visual displays number of classroom trainings and webinars passed by each user. The data represented in the clustered column chart is clickable, and it'll again filter the report. And then next, we also have the option to view the report by group. So clicking on the group icon on the top right corner of the report will move the admin to the group report. So all the data in the view by group page will be group-wise data instead of user-wise data that we saw in the main report. All the functions will be the same as the main report, except this data is categorized based on groups. So next we have the filter visual, where the data will be displayed based on the filter. So you can see you have the option to filter by certifications, ILTs, lesson plans, and library. So based on what data you want to see, if you click on each tab there, only those data will be displayed. And you will also see the selected filter highlighted. The data will be displayed based on the filter options you select. And let's say you select the lesson plans, then the report will display the data only for lesson plans for each user. So the overall progress also changes based on the filter. And so this is a sub-report. All the usernames in this report are hyperlinked, which will take you to a sub-report where detailed data of the user is displayed. So you can see the data for a specific user here. And I click on a username and I'm redirected to the sub-report. Laura, next. Here you can see the overall progress of a specific user. Thank you. And the progress percentage as visuals in the sub-report. All the types of categories have separate labels for lesson plans, training modules, certifications, and ILTs. You also have the option to filter by excluding optional trainings. Laura, next. So next, moving on, I'll be talking about the credentialing progress report. So currently, the credentialing report will be another addition to the Power BI reports, to the system reports. So the Power BI credentialing progress report will carry over all the existing features from the system reports with a modern data visualization tool, which makes reports easy to read and interpret. In addition to all the fields currently present in the system reports, this will also include the assignment date of each user to the credentialing package, the progress status of the users within the package, and it shows if the user has completed or not completed the courses, the date when the completed certificate expires for the user so they can retake the training, and the certification expiration interval. The status of the user that can be filtered between active and inactive users. Next, Laura. So the admin will have the ability to filter the report by groups. The assigned groups will be displayed in a tooltip. With the user hovers over the number of groups, you will see the visual representation of the certification package assigned to the user with completed and not completed status. So the other features that includes are the ability to export to Excel, save as my reports, and schedule to be sent by email. So these are all existing features that we pushed it to Power BI. So the custom fields set by the admin will be included in this report. Next. Reports can be obtained in two different ways, online or a scheduled job. So Power BI reports can also be scheduled so that an admin can specify the exact criteria on what they would like reported and have it generated and delivered to them to their emails on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. So you can also add multiple emails here. And the assigned groups will display in a tooltip. So when you add multiple emails, so it will, the emails, the scheduled reports will be sent to all the emails which are included here. Okay, so this is a very exciting feature that will be pushed very soon. So we have implemented a new and enhanced dashboard with the look and feel based on common design principles and user experience considerations. So the design changes we'll be implementing for the dashboard are automatic scaling of welcome message and other widgets in different screen sizes and devices. And also we'll be standardizing the widget sizes to 2 widgets per row for all the widgets on the user end, including the calendar and the overview widget. We have implemented round corners in all widgets and removed the gray headings for a cleaner look. So we have 3 ways of adding a welcome message. Currently, LearnWiseGo allows you to upload an image as a welcome message. With the new implementation, we focus on adding URLs, HTMLs to the welcome message. The URL allows you to upload images, videos, PDFs, and URL of a site. You can also upload images and video as a HTML block of code. So as I've shown here on the screenshots, the welcome HTML message has a block of code here, and then the welcome URL, I've included a URL to the to a video, and then welcome message is something we already had. And now I'll show you how adding a video URL to the welcome message looks like. So here you can see the video URL that I updated on the welcome message settings. So it shows up here on the dashboard. So moving on, we have the overview widget, the lesson plan widget, and the library widget. So the overview widget here, the progress graphic shows only the progress for lesson plans passed. So earlier it showed all the lesson plans that were completed by the user, but now it only shows the ones that are passed. And now we also allow users to click on the items that are in progress and pending e-signature. And clicking on the status will take the user to the corresponding screen so they can proceed from there. And for the lesson plan widget, we have included an icon for the lesson plan quick training to the widget. And we also have added buttons on the status column. And the library widget, so this is a all new widget we have implemented now. So the library folders are, the folders are shown as icons here on the widget, and clicking on the icons will redirect the user to the folder in the library from where the user can access all the materials he is assigned to.
The dashboard looks really good. Thanks, Susanna. That's I know we're excited. Hopefully everybody else is too.
Yeah,
it's a great upgrade and modernization, and you know this has come from feedback from our customers. Really, those improvements and the scaling and the ability to add videos in there is a great tool as well. So very exciting. Thanks, Susanna.
We will open the floor up to any questions on any of the topics that we spoke on today, or if there's any other questions about the LMS, we're here to speak to ways that we can enhance your training or different areas of the system that you might want to use.
Yeah. And feel free to put them in the chat if you have anything as well, or shout out, whatever you prefer. We're here to listen, and of course you can feel free to follow up post call as well with ideas. Just to reiterate, the information that we get and the ideas we get from every users conference pretty much get implemented by the next users conference. So don't hold back or don't be shy. Yeah, we're driven by you guys. So please, you know, let us know what you'd like to.
Well, if there are no other questions at this particular time, as I think Andrew and Laura mentioned, you know, you obviously, some of you are very much in touch with all of us, and some of you are not that active. We want you to be. So feel free to touch base with your account manager as much as you would like. We're here for you. I want to thank you very much for your time. And, you know, we certainly want to stay engaged. So just keep in touch with us and we'll keep in touch with you.